Hello, this is PreIB made easy by IB students to IB students, and in this lesson we will be covering chemistry calculations, or at least some aspects of it, and introducing the important concept of a mole ratio. But before introducing the question, we must first look at one of the most essential formulas in calculations, which is n is equal to small m over big M, which is equal to moles is equal to mass in grams over molar mass in grams per mole. And the molar mass can be found on the periodic table quite easily. And in the first part of the question, they simply want us to calculate how many moles there are of copper oxide. And this is pretty easy since we are given the mass. So if we go back to the formula, we see that n is equal to m over m. So moles is equal to mass over molar mass. And since we have the mass, all we need to do is find the molar mass to find the moles. And you can look at the periodic table to find the molar mass of copper oxide, which is the molar mass of copper plus the molar mass of oxygen, which would be 63.546 plus 15.99, which gives us a molar mass of 79.536 grams per mole. So now that we have the moles of copper oxide, they want us to calculate the moles of copper chloride, copper 2 chloride more specifically. And a very simple way to do this is by simply using mole ratios. So we could easily find the mass of copper chloride by looking at the mole ratio that is in this equation. It says that for every mole of copper oxide and for every 2 moles of hydrochloric acid, 1 mole of copper chloride is produced and 1 mole of H2O is produced. So we can see that the mole ratio between copper oxide and copper chloride is simply a 1-to-1 ratio. And since the mole ratio is a 1-to-1 ratio, we know that the moles of copper chloride are equal to the moles of copper oxide. So that means the moles of copper chloride is simply also 0.4988 moles. And the final part of this question is to find the mass of copper 2 chloride to 3 significant figures. And we know we have the sufficient amount of data required to find the mass. And so we have to go back to our original formula, n is equal to m over big M. And we can arrange this to find for the mass. And when we rearrange the formula, we can see that the mass is equal to the moles times the molar mass. And we have both of those things. So the mass of copper 2 chloride is simply equal to 0.499 moles times the molar mass of copper 2 chloride, which I have calculated to be 134.75 grams per mole. And so, by just simply multiplying those two together, we find that the mass of copper 2 chloride is 67.09055. And to round it to 3 significant figures, 67.1 grams.